Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Stud and Dud presented by the Dallas School of Music. Thank you all for listening. Josh Smith here with me each week. Dr. Bob Lawrence. What's up, Doc?
I am so stoked, fired up, pumped up, man.
Beautiful?
It's awesome. This is a great time of year. First and foremost, what do we celebrate on Wednesday? A little quiz for you.
This last Wednesday.
Yes.
God,
come on, man.
Lent started.
Lent started.
Yeah, Lent.
Ash Wednesday.
Ash Wednesday. It's like, what is it called? Ash Wednesday. But I know Lent started. Was like a
wonderful time of
yeah.
preparation for Easter.
So what did you give up? Did you give anything up for Lent this year?
Fasting. You know what I gave up?
What's that?
I gave up news.
There you go.
I gave up news channels because you know why? I'm tired of all the fight,
negativeness,
the negativeness, all the freaking
weather's
out.
always wrong anyway.
Everything, right? Exactly. I'm giving up. In other words, I'm unplugging. I'm fasting with my eyes.
Gotcha.
Right.
Kind of sort of like what you were trying to do with your phone back on New Year's, Christmas. We were trying to throw it away.
Yes.
Kind of like, I'm done. I got what I need when I need it.
And it will be a lot easier to fast with my eyes and give up the news than I did a couple years ago. You know what I gave up a couple years ago?
What's this?
I gave up hot water.
Oh, whoa.
I showered all of Lent.
You can go lukewarm.
Cold water.
Warm's different than hot.
Of course, you would have thought I was the one being crucified in the shower, man. I was like,
Oh, yeah. You were live and awake for a full 40 days.
So anyway, fasting, giving up all the negativity.
Great.
The noise. In fact, that's what I called it. I said, I'm turning off the noise.
I love it.
Right?
That's what I'm trying to do myself. The one thing for me, negativity. Try not to be so negative.
And I'm increasing my prayer life.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah. So
more prayer. Throw a couple in there for me, please.
I will.
Because I need them. I'm not praying as much as you. I know I need to, but hey, you do it a little bit more than me, so throw one in there. Like Josh, I know he's not praying to you, Lord.
I do actually pray for you every day.
He's a good guy. I know he has a good heart. Gets a little angry every once in a while.
So increasing my prayer life. I'm saying the rosary every night, man.
Love the rosary. I got a couple of beautiful rosaries. A couple of them blessed by the bishop. One of them was blessed by the Bishop of Little Rock back in the day.
Fantastic, man. It's the prayer of the gospel.
Bishop, I guess it'd be Bishop of Arkansas.
It's the best meditation in the whole world. Yeah. So I'm praying my rosary every night. And then as a family, we're going to solidify our plans for giving. We're going to do some special giving this Lenten season. So we are in full Lent mode, fired up, weather.
Love it.
Right?
Got your baseball.
Spring training.
March Madness is right around the corner. It's like literally next, it's right here. It's this weekend. This is the last of February, this weekend.
It's fantastic.
Tomorrow.
I love it. I love this time of year.
Speaking of the leap year, we get an extra day this year.
Yeah.
So here's my point, too. Another quick question. So I guess if you have a leap year birthday, which there are a few out there, you're born on February 29th.
There are, yeah.
So all the 3 other years in between, you celebrate, and you got to celebrate on March 1st, right? That would be technically February 29th, March 1st.
Yeah, it throws a real kink in the works,
right?
Doesn't it?
Because you can't go 28th because that is not your birthday. You weren't born on the 28th. You were born on the 29th. So you can't go 28th. You got to go 20. And I'm sure those people, there's probably some uppity girls that probably celebrate both days, non-leap year, 28th and the 1st.
That's happening.
Some 20-year-old college girls.
Oh yeah.
Even probably 40-year-old.
Little princess.
Think they're still in college girls. But yes. I thought about that the other day. Me and Amy were talking about it. I was like, oh yeah, it is leap year.
It is leap year.
It is great. Go. So let's also, what's on tap today? Oh, real quick. On top of what's been happening, the stock market lately.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
Been plummeting up top.
How you been handling it, man?
Dude, down low is on Earth because here's why. Coronavirus, unfortunately so, but good for us. All these lows, like I said, basement dorm dwellers, essentially, that are never that good of
right
companies are now being able to produce or try to produce these vaccines for the coronavirus, which is huge and is the pretty much biggest news on anywhere you'd probably know. Anywhere in the world right now, that's probably it will be on your news every night, no matter where you live in the world right now. That's crazy. That didn't happen too often. So now you've got all these companies. Just for example, stocks went from $5 to, let's see, yesterday, stock $5 to $50, 40 cents up to $3.70 as of before I left today. So this is in 24 hours. Like the last 2 days, yesterday and today, have just been bonkers. Stocks going 600%, 1,000% essentially in a matter of 2 days. It's been crazy. It is the craziest 2 days in the penny stock world, essentially. Those lower up to about mid caps, because now they've turned into mid caps, because now they're 40, 30. I was trading it, and literally went from $5 to $30 like that. So, but here's the thing. As soon as that corona, they're going to go right back to $3, $4, $5.
Of course.
So you better get your money when you can. But yeah, lately, I mean, today I literally went like, because I woke up going, man, should I swing any of these? Like one of them was at $15, and it was up from $5. It started around 4 or 5 yesterday, went up to 15. I was like, man, that's up a lot. Oh man, wake up this morning, it had up to $60-something. I'm like, I did this. I did this to myself. I did my mind. I'm like, I did that to myself. Like, it's like, wow, I should have just like even 100 shares would have made me $1,000, more so dollars. So,
but you were afraid. You didn't pull the
exactly.
trigger.
And I was smart. I'm smart. Yeah. When I have those days, or those days, if I ever get to where I have $1 million, $100,000 account, oh yeah, I'm gonna swing 100 of this 5. Because you may have a loser or two, but a couple of losers are going to completely. Because I like that one that went up to 60 and then now was still trading at $40, and yesterday it was 15. You're going.
So right now, what you're saying is you really don't have enough play money yet.
Exactly.
When you get bigger, you'll have a little play money.
There's a guy, like I said, a guy today that's made $200,000 over the last couple of days, and you're just like,
dude. Yeah.
Anyway, so,
yeah.
But first, on tap today. What's up, Doc? You got a little something?
Yeah.
Tweet of the week. I got a little something that we're just kind of talked about. Yeah. We'll get to it. Recap and preview. All-time dream band. That's our little kind of fun topic of the day. I did
a little different twist. When we get to that,
mine's more of a rock band. Yours is probably more of a jazz band.
I definitely went jazz.
Yeah,
the jazz world will love me. You'll be over there going, huh? What? Huh?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe one or two. I hope.
What? You won't know one.
Yeah. Well, maybe not. And this week's Starter we have a clear-cut champion. It's definitely a cool story. But first, speaking of music,
I bet I know what you're talking about.
Okay, maybe so. Huey Lewis. Have you heard about Huey Lewis lately?
No, I read it in your notes.
Yes, it's been, I guess, because it was on CBS Morning News, and now it's because I guess they released an album on Valentine's Day called Weather. It's their 10th studio album, Huey Lewis in the News. But yeah, I guess, which is crazy enough, at a Dallas show back in 2018, he noticed his hearing was starting to go out, and he couldn't get the pitch right, and was like, man, what is going on? I mean, I can't imagine.
He hasn't got the pitch right for a long time.
Well, yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. Regardless, Doc.
Sorry, Huey. I like Huey, but
it is good, especially in the 80s. Are you kidding me? 90s even, I loved him. I mean, Dad loved him. I mean, he was a great guy.
Right.
I mean, like I said, it's one of my favorite ever. Is that you know what? Power of Love. Who doesn't? You hear that, you immediately think of the movie. Anyway,
right.
But yes, I had no idea. And so Dad told me about that when they were in town, which crazy enough was Valentine's Day weekend when the album dropped. I'm like, man, really? I had no idea. And I meant to bring it up last week, but yeah, I had no idea yet. I mean, just man, which is crazy. Just you essentially just go deaf. Even though you do play music and maybe not as good as you used to be, but still, you go deaf. That's what you make money, and that's what you still love to do.
Well, and as a musician, man, that's heartbreaking, man.
I can't imagine. Yeah,
that's heartbreaking.
So then whatever the disease is, the Meniere's or something like that, Meniere's disease. But yeah, where you get the inner ear disorder, you essentially lose hearing.
That's too bad.
Hey, got the Bluetooth, I guess, supposedly, where you can hear the hearing aid with the Bluetooth.
Good for him.
So doing his best he can. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Crazy story. So. What's up, Doc? Let's get a little twist
coronavirus.
Here.
That's what's up.
Oh,
everybody,
right.
A little public service announcement. Everybody, chill out.
Well, here we're good still.
Relax.
Yeah.
Just relax.
Hey, until it starts getting, the thing is
everybody's freaking out.
Well, because the CDC released that news.
Right. And then the news runs with it, and everybody's freaking out.
Exactly. That's what I can't say about media these days.
How many people you think died from the flu last year?
A lot.
In the United States.
Oh, I'm sure a lot.
You have an idea?
No, I have no idea. But
I just heard this last night.
Yeah.
45,000 people.
Yeah, a lot. I know a lot of people die from just the flu alone.
So everybody needs to chill out.
Yeah, it's like people are already dying from the flu.
Yeah, because if you wanted to freak out, what about the flu, man?
Yeah, right, exactly. So I totally understand. I'm right there with you. I understand. That's what people do these days. They take stuff and they turn that amp instead of just kind of starting at a nice slow level. They immediately, that's how or straight to 100. I'm like, what would you...
Immediately.
What are we doing? Chill out.
So I just want everybody...
I understand if you lived over in China.
We live in the greatest country on earth.
Well, people
with the greatest talent on earth. Doctors, scientists,
overall, for sure,
right? The greatest. Where would you want to be right now, anywhere in the world, other than the United States of America with the coronavirus?
Antarctica. Because you probably can't live there. That's about it. Maybe Greenland, Iceland, one of those pretty countries.
I'll take my chances.
I know, right? Because then if I get sick, I don't have a doctor.
Yeah, right. Then you're hosed.
I'm screwed.
You're really
I'm like, dang it.
You're sitting there looking at a walrus.
Yeah. Like, well, at least I get to die with you, old buddy. Don't let me spread it to the animals. Don't come eat me now.
Right. Yeah, they'll be feeding off.
Next thing you know, it's like a movie after, like, one of those crazy, everyone's got it. Animals have got it. Like, good job, Josh.
Yeah, right.
You went to Antarctica, or you went to Greenland. Yeah. Anyway.
Jerk.
Right. Tweet of the week. Let's get to it. It's question of the day. I can't wait. I loved it. I was kind of scrolling through, almost did a funny one again. When I saw this, I was like, great. Brought to us by MLB on Fox, which was a good little question. Literally a great one for any show, especially that is MLB stuff. But if the MLB were to expand, which city should get a team? And here's what's so funny real quick. The very first response, and I literally laughed out loud. Detroit.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
I laughed. I was like,
that
oh my
is
God.
absolutely hilarious.
But then, of course, the most replied that I saw, and I'm like, that'd be good. They have great people up there, so I bet they'd have a great fan base. But Portland, that was the number one I saw. There was not a team up northwest, besides Seattle, really.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that'd be cool to put another one up toward the western side of the United States. It's really about the only other state you could go to that'd be populated, or city, I should say. I mean, they got a few in California already.
Right.
Of course, Colorado's got their team, blah, blah, blah. I mean, that's what it's like. But Salt Lake's too cold. You know what I mean? Almost like playing in Colorado. It's kind of hard. That's why I'm surprised Denver's lasted as long as they have, the Colorado Rockies, because they're playing in those first month or two has got to be, and then in September it's got to be kind of chilly at times. And I'm sure they may schedule it to where their games are during the day in what could be the hottest part. But man, I can't even. But that same spot could be said for New York and Chicago. So
yeah, right.
So okay, 2 teams. If you're going to add 2, because I guess make it even since they have 28. Where are you going with 2 teams?
I think Portland's a great market. I think that'd be a great spot.
And they have the Portland Trailblazers, so that's they may have a MLS team, but that besides the major 3, which is going to be baseball, basketball, and football.
Yeah,
they only have the Portland Trailblazers.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of another market that would be. Did they have what did they say?
Yeah, that was just that. That was
just the number one.
They didn't Portland. There was a bunch of literally other Salt Lake. That's what Salt Lake was another one because of obviously
Salt Lake might be tough, but it would be a good market I think for baseball.
Yeah, because they have a good fan base.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly if you put another one maybe in Arizona. I mean, I don't know. I mean, where's the Diamondbacks? So they're in Phoenix, right? So I don't know if Scottsdale's big. You know what I mean? I don't know if there's another area that's big enough. See, that's what I'm saying. So because each one of those states only have, unless you're California or you're Texas or New York, Florida, as in population, you have big cities.
I'll tell you a place that would do great with a professional team. Now that I think about
Detroit.
Oklahoma City.
Oh, there you okay. Boom, there you go. Oh, because it's
with the
right
Thunder.
Here. Yes,
you get the Thunder.
The great area too, as in good fan base down in this
great
area.
Great fan base.
Weather would be great all year round.
But you know how huge baseball is in this corridor.
That's what exactly I was saying. Yeah.
You know, so I think Oklahoma City would be great. I think Portland would be great.
Omaha, maybe somewhere in Nebraska, because of having the College World Series. I just don't know how big the city base is.
But I think
Oklahoma City is definitely a big city.
Yeah, I think it's a big city.
Bigger than Omaha.
You already have the Thunder. You see what the fan base does there with the Thunder. I think it'd be great for baseball.
Yeah. Who does Indianapolis have a team? Indianapolis. I don't think so. That would be
That'd be another market too. See. Those two spots.
What about Kentucky? You think Lexington? I don't know if they. I just don't know because it's more. It seems like a basketball state, really. And obviously because of the college things, but Lexington,
and they're in the horse racing.
That too. So I'm just kind of thinking of states that really don't have an. Arkansas, Mississippi, not going to have one. Alabama's not going to have one. Georgia's got Atlanta already. So I'm trying to think of states that may not have one.
Yeah, I think I actually think Oklahoma
Charlotte,
City,
out east.
That could be.
So
I think I would look for an area that's already got a basketball team, an NBA team, already got a sports fan base.
I think we've named. We've come up Portland, Oklahoma City, Indianapolis. I mean, there's a nice little up and down.
That's right.
I think those 4 would be.
Add 4 more teams. Let's do
there you go. Boom.
4 more teams. There they are.
All right, MLB commissioner. We're just acting like we're talking. There you go. You got your 4 markets. There you go.
Yeah.
Let's start already.
Yeah. Let's start talking about that and get off the Astros.
Right.
Right.
Because we got Indianapolis would be great. You got the Colts and you got the Pacers.
It'd be a great
Indianapolis 500.
It'd be a great
little hub with all the big markets.
No doubt. Right.
Charlotte out east. There's really nothing over on the east side.
There you go.
Portland.
We got 4 places.
Man, those are all 4 great. We did good, Doc. Look at us.
We did fantastic.
We only had 1 to start. That's what I want to see what we can do.
See what we did.
Hey, we're not duds.
No, we're not.
I got this question the other day. Who's the dud?
Hey, Stephen A. wouldn't even come up with these.
Right. Yeah.
Stephen A. he'd go.
Houston should go to second team.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Let's put the talent there.
That's what he would do. Yeah.
Right. All right. Recap and preview. MLB spring training. Have you been watching any of it? I'm just asking. I had to ask. I can't just not ask. Okay, here's the question. So how much have you been asking? Or how much have you been watching?
Every night. I mean, we get every night. We're watching games. It's on, man. Are you kidding me? Tamlin hates this time of year.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Next month and a half especially. I bet my May it kind of maybe slows down a little bit.
She hates all of it.
Yeah.
The whole year.
You
know why? Because all 3 boys are playing. Baseball's in full swing. They're playing like crazy. Right. Then you got spring training. We already got the games. We got MLB.
Are you still going to go, though, this year?
Yeah.
Because I know you have your trip with Jesus brought up last week. You're going to Orlando. Are you still going to Orlando?
Podfest.
Are you going to Orlando?
Next week.
Yeah, that's next week, right?
Why don't you go with me, man?
You want me to go? Now all of a sudden you tell me? Now all of a sudden now I've got to go. But now I'd have to pay for my way. They're only paying for you, right?
Correct.
Yeah. See, I have to see how much trips aren't. But the flights to Orlando aren't too expensive.
They're not too expensive.
Yeah.
But I'm going down there.
I'll crash with you. I need a flight.
Yeah, there you go. But I'm going down there, man. I think I'll learn a lot.
Dude, you got to. You got to take it, like I said, take it in. Maybe if you can, catch a little of how far away is the Grapefruit League from there, you think?
No, I could go to games, but you know what the deal is. I've already looked at that. But really, honestly, this is really a business trip. I mean, even
he's going to tell you more business now. I didn't know if you'd stay a little longer, as in you could stay till Monday or Tuesday and take some time off from here.
I am literally going to be binging on seminars and courses on podcasting.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can bring back some tips for us.
Yeah. Definitely.
And then also, my jazz piano. I got to do a little.
Yeah. For both.
I'm going to do a little plug for my jazz piano skills podcast that I do, that I release every Tuesday.
Yeah.
I release a jazz piano skills podcast, which has been going nuts. And you know what? I get to do a lot of talking on that podcast. You know why?
Because it's just you.
Yeah. Because you ain't there.
Yeah. Well, when it is just you, that's all you're going to do. I've done one by myself. I threw in some fake callers for fun because I got tired of talking. Even though it was me talking. It was just a new personality. I'm like, oh, this is kind of fun. I can see why people like split personalities. All right.
Oh, my
God.
God.
I didn't know if you'd stay longer is my point. Like, say Monday, Tuesday, maybe catch a game. Because that's what I didn't know that it was even worth it because that's why I was saying I didn't know if you're going to the actual Cactus League out in Arizona.
Yeah, now Tam already brought it up, but I think that, down there in Florida, the games, the stadiums are much further apart. It's not like in Phoenix.
Like what you said, where they're super close, where they made it really close.
Exactly.
And
in
that's
Phoenix,
the thing, though, I guess, because they have more land. Orlando, because there's just so much stuff in that area, I guess, or wherever. Just everything's so spread out there.
It's so spread out. When we go out to spring training in Phoenix, here's the cool thing. We get up in the morning, have breakfast, we go to practice. So we might go to the Cubs practice. We might go watch the Angels practice. We might go watch the Rangers practice, whatever, right?
Yep.
Then
you go to the Cubs. They're in Mesa at Sloan Park.
Right.
I love this little website thing I pulled up. Yeah.
And then we go to an afternoon game, bask in the sun. Then after the afternoon game, we get in the car and we drive over to another stadium and we go to a night game.
Right.
So I mean, you can actually go to practice and catch 2 games a day easily and do very little driving.
Beautiful. I mean, you got tons of that. That's why I listed the teams that were in each little area. So I was. Texas, and that's the thing. Texas, the Rangers are out in the Cactus League, so they'll be out there.
Correct.
Yeah, so that's why I didn't. That's and then you got the Angels will be out there.
Dodgers. We got the Angels. We got the Dodgers.
The Royals.
We got the Diamondbacks.
Go see my Rockies. Give them a little love, maybe.
Rockies, Seattle Mariners. I mean, San Francisco Giants. It's fantastic.
And I guess do they try to split that up west and east? How do they do the Cactus and
kind of.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah,
that's what I always got the gist of.
Yeah.
They try to split it more so where the East teams stay on the East, West teams stay on the West.
It's kind of interesting.
Now,
the Cubs are out there, but the Cardinals are at.
Well, exactly, because it's kind of right. That's where that corridor is, right there, Cincinnati to Chicago land is where the middle. Even though really.
Yeah, it's interesting.
That's where the middle corridor is.
Yeah,
for
it's
teams.
interesting that the Cubs ended out there in the Cactus League,
right?
And the Cardinals are down in the Grapefruit
League,
right? Yeah. You would have thought,
maybe because they're a little bit more on the
west side.
Yeah, it is what it is. Maybe the fan base is stronger down there. Not that matters. But now, how much you take away from the games themselves? Is it like preseason football? Or you're like, take a little out of it. As in, when a team kind of shining and they're playing well, is it kind of? You get my point. You take a little out of it. Is it like preseason football, NFL?
You know what? You actually take more. I think you actually take the games are fantastic. They're fun, but I actually think as a baseball fan.
Yeah.
You actually take away even more by going to the practices.
Yeah.
When you watch the teams work out and you see the players.
Yeah. I just didn't know if it was like one of those things where at the end of this, like, where like say the Miami Marlins are 6-0 right now and early on. I'm just saying, look for the Marlins later this year. Is it one of those things or is it kind of like,
no.
it's preseason football essentially. It's kind of like, they're probably going to still be a 500 team at best maybe this year.
Yeah. It's, really, it's a time for those guys to get in shape, play some ball. For the fans, it's fantastic.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. The fact that you, like you said, you get so close to them, and get all the
autographs.
And that's cool. And not a lot of NFL teams do it, but that's what I love about my Denver Broncos because of the pictures we got with my buddy Jaron that went out there and got pictures with Von Miller, Nick Chubb. I mean, made the paper. As in, my friend's literally kid was sitting on Von Miller's shoulders. I mean, are you kidding me? Like, where else do you see that? You don't see that often, especially in the pros. So
yeah. And
super cool.
What's really neat, you go to practices, you can literally eavesdrop on conversations between the coaches and the players, and you're standing there and you're actually hearing And
are these ballparks? I guess are they? Because they had to construct them out there. I guess I didn't know if they were already there. That's my point. Are they smaller, or are they the same size as most Major League?
They're smaller. Really intimate. Really nice.
Yeah.
Good food.
I didn't mean standing. I meant the main thing I meant depth wise. Are they big? As in they still 400 feet, 375 to left.
The playing field is the same.
I didn't know if center field is 360 or you get my point. Or if it's 400 or most Major League parks.
Yeah, but no, it's fun. For instance, I remember was it last year or a couple of years ago? We were sitting there watching one of the practices and. So it was 2 years ago because Mike Scioscia was the manager of the Angels, and this kid comes off. I say kid. I mean, they're all
right. Yeah, 20 to 25, maybe 30.
Right. I say kid, but they're adults. Yeah. Adult men. And the guy's like a minor leaguer coming off the field. They're doing a scrimmage and the practicing, and Scioscia's sitting there right on the side of the field. And that kid, I felt sorry for him, man. He comes running off, and Scioscia just looks over at him as he's going in the dugout, and he goes, "You're not getting it done. That ain't going to happen. You ain't going to make it unless you turn it around. You're not getting it done."
Right.
And he's just saying it just really calmly to him. You're not getting it done.
And you can hear that's what's so crazy. If you're in a Major League park, it's just so loud. They're a little bit further away.
Yeah.
But when you're there, you can hear that type of.
Yeah, and I'm hearing that, and I'm seeing the guy's face and the look on his face, and Scioscia just giving him
Oh yeah, stone cold, man.
Stone cold.
Which is cool that he's doing that instead of just being a D about it and being literally yelling at him or throwing helmets or.
No, very.
Man, let me tell you. Listen, here's how it is, boss. If you don't start turning this stuff around,
you're not getting it done, man.
You're gonna be in triple whatever all your life or double A, whatever, single A.
Right.
So enjoy that, which a lot of them unfortunately do, and they do that forever. Maybe get that call up for get it to
but it's just kind of neat to see that. Interchange and interaction,
yeah.
Right? You're right. You're not going to get that at a Major League park with the organ going and the announcers going,
exactly,
here comes the dart race.
Popcorn, get down, popcorn.
Yeah, you're not going to get any. Yeah. You don't hear anything.
Yeah.
So it's a lot.
That's
of
cool.
fun.
And how big are, like you said, 1,000, 2,000 people? How many people would fit to those things? 5,000.
Yeah, it's like a minor league. It's like it's like the Rough Riders.
Yeah, exactly.
Rough
Riders.
It's the same kind
of. We have in Arkansas.
So just imagine a bunch of Rough Rider parks.
That's awesome. That's beautiful.
And they're beautiful.
Yeah, nice, small, like you said. Those are awesome.
Very intimate.
That's cool.
Right. Very, very family friendly fan base.
How many hot dogs are you going to eat? You're already thinking about it. Let's get to a recap and preview. Already kind of did it. Spring training, obviously. That's what we talked about first. Wilder versus Fury, the fight last week. Boy, did not lead up anything to that. And I had a feeling, I was like, man, this is just, I bet it's going to be a terrible fight.
You didn't pay for that, did you?
No, I'm like me. I forgot what it's called. I'm pulling up some fake website, and it's in SD, standard definition. It's not in HD. It's supposed to be. And when I watch the Bronco games, actually, most times they are because it's not pay-per-view, so it'll be like the live broadcast. It looks really well. But it's usually standard. Then it'll kind of...
Yeah, right. Right.
Whatever. But yeah, exactly. So, hey, but I watched it free. Yes. Never going to pay for because I don't care for any of those fights anymore. I don't care for those people enough.
Who cares,
I
right?
I just want to watch, see. Hopefully it's a good fight.
When I find out, I just check ESPN.
Right. Okay. Round 2. Oh, wow. Or the next morning, who beat up who.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it sucked. Terrible fight. Wilder, that's the thing. My grandpa, really my dad's father-in-law, so it's wasn't my real grandpa really, but he was who I knew, you know what I mean, because he married my grandma in the 70s or late 60s.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that.
Took on 5 kids, literally, and he had kids
in Arkansas,
of his own.
You never know.
Well, yeah, exactly. But I already spoke about this last show. Where, unfortunately, my dad's dad there wasn't great, but he comes along, Pappy, as I called him, or Bill Wilder. So point being, his name's Wilder. Loved Pappy to death. He was.
So your Pappy's last name was Wilder?
Yes. So of course, and then the guys from America, they were this guy was literally probably about a few hundred miles from where Pappy was from. I'm because he's from Birmingham. Deontay Wilder is. Pappy's from Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'm hold on here. How are they? This is really weird. But I was gotta go. Come on, Wilder. And of course, like I said, but he just got pummeled, and you could kind of tell that going in. He was a lot of trash talk. But if what was true, what Fury was saying, as in he had been there in Vegas the last 2 months, he had been training his butt off. And then point being, of course, Fury. The champion, living that life, what you see of that, they take it seriously, but not too seriously.
Truly the Rocky Apollo Creed story.
Exactly, and living the life, living with his wife. So that thing, I showed you those video clips when you see him enter that, which is so cool that they did that. So there's fans all around him. Of course, they have their bodyguards, but you're right next to them. Talk about intimate. That's kind of cool. They did that for this little interviews that they had. They'd bring him in. I forgot where the hotel. I guess the MGM. They pull up in their nice vehicle, and you'd see them walk out and do their little strut all the way through to the thing. Anyway, here come, like you said, Wilder's or Fury's saying all this stuff. He's been with his wife and he's eating all these home cooked meals, and he's like, you look at, and he literally, Wilder or Fury looked great, about as great shape as I've ever seen him. He's kind of a little heftier guy, he's a little, the white guy's a little chunky, but hey, he obviously can fight. Plus, he's huge. So
well, listen. He's got arms that reach from here across.
Oh, exactly.
How the hell are you going to beat that guy?
And his speed, when they break it down, he's one of the fastest heavyweights since Ali, like 0.1/10 of his whatever it is, he can move. That's how fast he dodges those, which is crazy. So anyway, he can move fast.
Yeah, but none of these guys look like Ali.
Are you kidding me? No. Well, Wilder is retarded.
Okay,
he's ridiculously ripped.
Muhammad Ali was the Ken Griffey Jr. of boxing, meaning it was beauty in motion.
Exactly right. Yeah, that's why I fly like a butterfly, sting like a bimmy, because
beauty in motion.
Floated around. I mean, he's just exactly. And it's for his size, because at a size 6'3", whatever back in the day, was a big guy.
Right.
That was huge.
Right. But just the way, whether you liked Ali or not, to watch him in his prime, the way he moved in a ring.
Oh, yeah. The closest one, because he is undefeated and does move, he's more of a defender than a fighter. Ali, anyway, is Floyd Mayweather. You can't hit him. You can't hit the guy. I mean, he just zoop. I mean, you just see that guy move around, and you're just like, how does he...
I think Sugar Ray Leonard had a lot of the Ali.
Before, exactly. Right. Yeah. There were so many great ones in the 70s, 80s, a little bit in the 90s, and it's just kind of there's nothing really.
But just like a Ken Griffey Jr., you don't even have to watch. You don't even have to know anything about baseball.
You just watch that swing, and you're like...
And you're going like, that's beautiful.
He can strike out, and you'd still go, dang, that was a beautiful strikeout.
That was the most beautiful three swings I've ever seen in my
life.
Right,
exactly, right? So, exactly. But the fight was terrible. I was hoping Wilder would live up to especially his name, speaking of, obviously, but did not. Terrible fight. Let's get to the NBA. Bucks have already logged, which is crazy. Just kind of got on that, and that's what I was going to mention. I'll mention some other stuff. But the one thing that shocked me, the Bucks have already, literally like a game or two after the All-Star game, have now locked up a playoff spot. They've already locked one up. I mean, obviously, you get my point with 7. Their record's ridiculous, but that's crazy to think.
Bucks Lakers, is that what it's going to end up being?
Right now, but maybe the Clippers make a run. It's going to be maybe Clippers Lakers, or we'll get to this battle at number 2 spot on each side. The Raptors and the Celtics. Raptors are 8 games back. Your Celtics are 9 games back. So Bucks are obviously going to get number 1 seed, but it's a battle.
Celtics are fading down.
They're kind of fading, but they're still there. They still can make a run. It's going to be hard to get past my Bucks. I mean, Giannis is just on a roll. He's looking to easily win the MVP.
Yeah.
Now out west, the same exact now out west was crazy. It looks like the Lakers are going to get the number 1 spot. They're 5 games ahead of my number 2, or I should say not my number 2. There's the Nuggets. There's, like I said, last year they were number 2 seed. Here they are again this year. I'm like, man, I can't believe the Nuggets are still trucking along, doing good 2 years in a row. They're the number 2 seed at 5 games back. The Clippers are 6 games back, and they actually played each other tonight. So it'll be a great game to watch if you want to on ESPN. Obviously, it's over by the time you hear this podcast, so we'll have to talk about that next week. See who kind of wins this game. But hey, great game tonight. Clippers. It's where is it? I think it was Lakers. Or I should say Nuggets at the Clippers. So we'll see who wins that tonight. They actually and then there's a battle. And then there's kind of 2 battles in the West. Your Mavs for the 5th spot. As the Thunder and the Jazz are 36 and 22, so essentially tied for the 5th spot, and the Mavs are right behind them at 36 and 23, so literally just a half game behind them. So looking pretty good. Tough battle out there. And speaking of which, the Mavs have a tough game tonight. They're at the Heat. Weird road trip. At the Heat tonight, then on Sunday, at Minnesota.
Yeah, strange, right?
Yeah, really strange. You figured they'd make maybe a trip back home, and then, anyway, whatever. They then headline, just to give our little shout-out, you will be able to, when you listen to this, obviously, on Monday for our listeners. Pay attention on Wednesday night. Wednesday night this coming week, yes, Wednesday, people. ESPN, they headline ESPN, Wednesday night ESPN basketball. Anyway, they play the Pelicans. So Zion and the Pelicans.
Love Zion.
Come here to Dallas. So a great game if you're here in Dallas, you're listening, or if anywhere listening, watch our Mavs and Luka and Porzingis get us a dub against Zion. I guarantee you Wednesday night against the Pelicans.
Man,
don't count them yet.
Don't count the Mavs out, man.
Not yet. If they would have made a move, if they could, I don't know if their money was there. If they could have moved it free agency and got one of those guys in, I just don't know if they have the full piece yet.
Yeah.
We'll see, though. You had one more piece to Porzingis and freaking Luka. Woo, Luka, watch it. I mean, Hardaway's there, you know what I mean? But they just need that extra middle piece, that wing guy.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Zion, the Pelicans, and LeBron, they played last week. Did you catch the game?
Yeah.
It was a pretty good game.
Yeah.
Seeing watch of them battle. Zion had a pretty nice game again, which is crazy. They just played last week. Will they play again on Sunday, which is on ESPN.
And you know LeBron James turned it up a notch.
Oh,
right?
Are you kidding me? He's
Right.
like, hey, boy, even though I'm getting older,
Right. You know that
I'm the original you.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
the bigger guy that can move around and dunk and
correct.
maneuver people around.
And I'm still the king.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right, exactly. But they play again on Sunday, so watch for that. Obviously, it'll be over by the time you listen to this on Monday. But for you and me, Doc, if you want to watch a pretty little game, we'll see if Zion. And LeBron set out last night's game. He tweaked something, but he was out last night's game, so hopefully he'll play Sunday in New Orleans. So anyone that want to travel, hopefully maybe they'll go down to New Orleans.
Did you happen to see any of the Kobe Bryant Staples Center's memorial?
Yes.
Did you see Shaq's talk?
Oh, he was hilarious. I promise not to teach him my free shooting. Jordan was just crying. It almost got me to tears. Like, wow, because no one, like I said, remember I brought this up a few shows ago. No one's really heard from Jordan.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see him finally get up, which I'm sure they just kind of had to, and I'm sure he wanted to. But him to get up there, and then of course goes again. He makes fun of himself. He's like, man, which that was pretty funny. He was like, I didn't, because it still memes to this day when he was inducted to the NBA Hall of Fame, like in 2014 or 15 or whatever year it was. It was a while back. 13, 12, 8, 9, I don't know. It's been forever now. There's that crying Jordan's meme.
Yes.
All over. And it's still to this day. And so now he's like, man, here I am again. I'm going to get this for her. So now it was.
Yeah, well, he's got a heart.
Oh, well, he's Jordan. So he's like, hey, go ahead and hate on. That's all. That's the one thing you can make fun of me. Is
you make fun
I cry because I have a heart.
Cry. Yeah.
Even though he was a very rude person at times and could be, you know what I mean? The way he, even in his Hall of Fame speech, like, man, really, Jordan? But I'm like, that's him. I mean, he's a stone cold killer. I mean, he's not like he'll loosen up every once in a while. He's not like the Kobe's of the world that's just like, you know what I mean, super nice. And he was a stone cold killer on the court, but off the court, he can kind of show you his.
Well, you heard what Shaq said about Kobe's comment to him when he said there was no I in team. Did you hear?
Yeah, I know. I've heard it. What is it though?
Oh my gosh, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
And I won't say the word that Kobe said back to him because it's pretty raunchy.
Yeah.
But he said, yeah. Blankety blank blank, but there's an M and E in there.
Yeah, right, exactly. There you go.
There you go. Well, those
I've heard
guys,
that from a lot of great players.
Those guys have to have that kind of mentality,
right?
I
mean, you want to be ball in your hands last, you know what I mean, that type thing. So, anyway, tonight I should say, and here's what happened. See, my phone cut it off again. But ESPN2 tonight, that's what it was. Teams have been dropping this last week, and the one thing which I could not believe, and I'm like, really? Obviously, they played Davidson. You know who went to Davidson?
Golly.
What's his name? I made fun of him because I'm like, really? He's not an all-time. I mean, he's pretty good, but Steph Curry.
Oh.
Steph Curry went there and had that run.
That's right.
But let's see. Kansas last week. Remember, we had to go back. Kansas beat Baylor. It was a decent game. Baylor, I didn't
watch it, but I kept.
Remember, I forgot maybe exactly.
Yeah.
I forgot. I think I even tried to text you, but yes, they leapfrogged to number 1. So now Kansas is number 1. Baylor's number 2. Gonzaga, they lost this last week to BYU. So everyone's kind of fallen. I mean, they've won so many games, and it's good that they lose now instead of like you get these losses out now. Then they'll go probably run the table in there.
Absolutely right.
Duke, they've lost 2 in the past week now. They just lost Wake Forest, and I forgot who it was. I think it was North Carolina State.
Stephen F. Austin?
No, not one that terrible. At least they're not playing anyway.
Wasn't that fantastic?
Yeah,
man?
right.
I still
Exactly.
can't get over it.
All right.
Those boys
and then Kentucky, who they remember? Then Kentucky lost to when they were number 1. I forgot who it was, and that guy instead of he went for the was that the Duke game where the guy went for the layup? Remember that last second layup?
Right.
That was
it
was like 2 in a row.
You know those boys in Nacogdoches, right? They're still getting like at Denny's. Sit down here.
Yeah, boy, man. Let me tell you about that game. I know. You want to tell me where you were? Okay, again, really, Jared? Are you kidding me? Just give me some free food.
Right. They're still talking about that game out there, man.
So a lot of these slip-ups, and they haven't lost in forever, and they did play. The only team they I guess it kind of is on their resume that they've even played this year, but number 4 is Dayton. The Dayton Flyers are number 4 in the country. That just shows you the parity this year.
Yeah, right.
So they played Kansas earlier this year and only lost by a handful. They played them rather close, but that was early in the year.
Yeah.
San Diego State still at number 5. So it just kind of shows you Doc, I'm telling you, it's going to be a fun March Madness, filling out our bracket, how many bracket busters are going to be. Saturday's big game, the one to watch this weekend for anyone. Obviously, it'll be over by the time you hear it. I know I keep forgetting about that, but I got to mention it. Number 8 Kentucky versus number 15 Auburn. So it'll be a good game to watch. There's really not many most of the top 25 teams kind of playing, which, hey, they could still lose, could still be a good game. But in the top 25, that's really the only top 2 teams in the top 25.
Where's that game being played?
At Auburn.
Auburn. They're going to win that game.
That'd be a good one. I mean, hey, great coaches going at it there. So winding down to conference tournaments that start next weekend's so next weekend will be the last weekend of games, and then they'll start conference tournaments.
Fantastic.
Oh, man.
It's a great time of year. Great time of year.
I'm telling you. NFL Combine, let's get to it. There's a text right there. We got the upcoming guests. We got to talk about a lot of good guests coming up. There was one of them, a good potential one right there. A little sneak preview. NFL Combine. How much you even probably don't even think about it because of spring training.
Well,
you know what's going on.
I know.
I guess you get a little bit of news.
I know they've checked Burrow off the list because of his hands being too small.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's out.
Yeah, he's done, right?
So he's out. So now, Yeah,
I love how what's his face. A couple of different ones of we saw him play last year. Like if you hands are not. Yeah, that dude, his hands. Are you kidding me? It was a rainy. I think it was Kirk Herbstreit, which to me, I'm like, man, he's
might as well get his UPS gig going.
Right. But yeah, Kirk was like one of the few games I saw him live last year that I think he did his game. I think it was Herbstreit that said. Anyway, in the rain, I just remember the game. In the rain at Ole Miss, 300-plus yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, 75% passing percentage, 0 fumbles. In the rain, 9-inch hands. I think he's just fine.
You know that's a crock, right? You know all that's
I know,
crock.
yeah.
I don't even believe that.
Well,
I don't even believe that.
Out was there's only 2 quarterbacks in the last 20 years that have had some sustained success with 9-inch hands or smaller. And here's one that's had great, and they're right above that. Russell Wilson, his is 9 1/4. So you're talking about a 1/4 inch. Do you think that is that much? That is that big of a difference? Mahomes, Breeze, they all have a little bit smaller hands. They're not massive hands. Do you want freaking Giannis, whatever the freak? You want those? You want hands this long to throw a football?
I can't even believe in the NFL. I know analytics and all this play in everything, but you know what? Watch and learn.
Yeah.
Just watch and learn, right? It's kind of like in the music business. People do this. You'll hear people go, "Oh, you got great piano hands."
Yeah, right. Yeah. I'm going to start saying that to everyone. They're like, "Oh, thank you." They'll think it's a great compliment.
Why do you have great piano? Oh, look how long their fingers are.
Yeah.
It makes no.
Right.
The best piano players I've ever heard at
they're 5'3", like guys back in the day,
scrawny little short.
Yeah, Mozart, all those guys back in the day, they were 6'3" with 5 inches.
It's such a bunch of hooey.
All right, let's get to the fun stuff. 40-yard dashes, almost at least since they've been keeping track of it since 2002 or 3. And I can't imagine having these two guys, but Alabama wide receiver Henry Ruggs III ran a 4.27. Now the fastest time ever is a couple of years. There's been a few in the 4.2. So you get in the 4.2s. Who cares? Who knows how accurate those are really? Supposedly even they are. Regardless. So Alabama's wide receivers ran a 4.27, and Jerry Jeudy, who was regardless would definitely probably go anyway, ran a 4.45. So imagine having those two dudes. You just give them the ball.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
right.
Wow.
Speed.
You
can't teach and coach speed.
Ridiculous. So ridiculous. Good to see that. Today, though, we have actually, it was yesterday. Yesterday was the quarterbacks, tight ends, wide receivers, and today we have place kickers, special teams, offensive linemen. And here's what's so funny: on a dud day like that, you're like, really? Running backs, like, really? Well, I think that actually they're probably, hell yeah, we're going to get all the limelight. We're going with special teams, offensive linemen, and place kickers? Hell yeah, ain't no one else going today? Are you kidding me? Yes. Where yesterday, quarterbacks are going to get, the tight ends and wide receivers are kind of maybe going to get overshadowed by. Yeah. But that's the thing, too. No one, a lot of the things, I think Tua, he looked good. Or I guess I don't know how much he even ran. I know Jalen Hurts, he was one of the ones that did run. He ran a 4.59 and 4.54. So that kind of helped him out, him running those fast times, Jalen Hurts. Guy from Oregon, same type thing, ran a little bit faster, or I should say faster, ran 4.68. What's funny was one of the losers. Anybody who wanted to see Burrow throw at the combine, because he's not doing anything. He's pretty much going to let his stats speak for himself. He may do something at the LSU day. You know what I mean? When they have it back at LSU, where it's in his own comfort, where he feels still comfortable. But yeah, didn't compete in any drills. Didn't run the 40-yard draft. Give me a spike. Reading all these different words, but anyway, didn't do anything. Look at it. I just got measurements is literally what he's there for, and put his name on the board. Jake Fromm, same type thing. His lack of arm strength, he ran one of the 40th. He ran a 5 flat on the 40-yard dash. The guy from Georgia who's been there for a while.
Yeah,
was kind of high
I was
up.
just going to say to you, man, wow, finally Fromm's in the NFL.
Yeah, I know he's been playing there. It seems like for 4 or 5 years.
It seems like he's been at Georgia forever,
literally. So nothing really big news besides, like you said, you brought up the hand thing immediately. That was kind of the big news thing.
Yeah.
And the other one was the Henry Ruggs running to 4.27. So now that just immediately is okay, now he just jumped up 5'10" easily, which is crazy.
Right.
You jump up that. I mean, and especially if he was imagine if he was a 3rd or 4th round pick, he would have jumped up to he would have jumped up rounds.
When did they start this combine thing?
Early 2000. I think it's been around kind of, since let's look it up for fun. But I think it was they had something sort of it in the 90s, and it really became official maybe in the 2000s.
Yeah, because that's in the big scheme of things, it's kind of a recent phenomenon, isn't it?
Yes. Well, here's when I really started watching. You had to get online and watch it from like online. You had to go to NFLnetwork.com. It was like when Matt Jones, who played for the Razorbacks, because I want to see what 40 time he ran, and this was like in 2005 or 6. So I remember getting when I was up in Fayetteville. Let's see, 40-yard NFL Combine initial start, right?
Yeah.
What?
When did it start?
They're probably going to come up with 2000. Wow. The NFL Scouting Combine was first shown on television in 2004. Let's see, NFL Network notes for the 2000. So I guess that was the first year NFL Scouting Combine. So here we go. NFL Network, on November 3rd, 6th installment. So, yeah, exactly leading up to the 2004 February NFL Combine. I guess that was maybe one of the first ones. I don't know why it's not. So exactly. It's really been blown. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
Because they don't keep track of the whole, supposedly, like Deion Sanders and Bo Jackson ran like 4 1s, essentially.
Yeah.
But those aren't, what do they call it? Official.
Gail Sayers did not go to a combine.
Yeah, exactly. So it's get my point. So it's definitely because I remember that was one of the first ones when Matt Jones was there. Wanted to see what he ran. He ran like a 4.4 something. I'm like, whoa, he's so fast. And then anyway, but that's what a lot of people want to see. Let's see what he really runs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
He's fast in college supposedly, and then you'd see some guys that are supposedly fast and they're like run like a 4.56, and you're like, huh? Anyway, let's get to it. Let's get to a little music. All time dream band. Lots of gather up, a lot of different artists all throughout time. Obviously, it looks like you're going to go more toward the jazz side. Mine's going to be a little, and that's what anyone. I mean, of course, you could gather if you wanted to. A little classical, a little jazz, country, rock. I mean, it'd be a different band, but you kind of want to make it correlate if it's going to sound good, right? So, Doc, let's go with yours.
All right, I did a little different thing, man. I thought about it. Could go a bunch of different directions.
Yeah.
I went in the jazz. I stayed in the jazz realm. There's where I stayed. And being a jazz pianist, I actually said I'm going to put together a band, an ensemble, a group based on the best jazz pianist of all time.
Okay.
And the other criteria that I used is they have to be dead.
Oh.
They cannot be alive.
Okay. Those poor dead souls. Let's give them some love.
So here they are. My dream concert, my dream band, ensemble would be these 4 piano players on stage together.
Oh, man, that'd be great.
Working together. Their genius intermingling and playing off one another. Piano player number 1, Art Tatum.
Oh, wow. Never heard of him.
Yes. All the jazzers, they know who I'm talking about. Art Tatum. And these guys are all from different... Here's what's
eras?
neat. Yes, different eras.
Yeah, there's so many eras with
they're coming from different eras and on stage together, playing and working with one another. So Art Tatum.
I love it. Art Tatum.
Another great jazz pianist, Earl Gardner.
Never heard of him, but hey, I like the last name.
Right? Nice. And then I went with Bill Evans.
Never heard of that guy either, I don't think.
And then my last piano player is a gentleman that just passed away a couple of weeks ago, Lyle Mays.
Now, I've heard of him because you brought him up.
So listen, all you jazzers out there, especially you jazz piano players. What a night this would be.
Right.
What a concert this would be. What a band this would be to have those 4 guys on stage together. Art Tatum, Earl Gardner, Bill Evans, and Lyle Mays.
I like the names. Those are beautiful. I'd be like, man, I just want to go just because of those names.
Yeah, I just can't.
To me, because it'd be cool, at the Red Rocks.
There you go.
Now you're
there. Right?
I am right there front row.
So I took a whole different twist. I didn't go the traditional route. They had to be dead. I didn't go the traditional route with trying to find a bass player or a drummer or guitarist. But these are 4 geniuses. Yeah. To have them, that would be like the dream team.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
The dream jazz piano.
Because I've seen that before. Where, you see multiple pianists playing together. Obviously,
yes.
I wanted to see,
and that's not easy to pull off.
Jeez, no. And the duel I wanted to see, and they had the tour, and of course they got in a little beef fight. The divas that they are, but supposed to be Billy Joel and Elton John, the dueling piano tour back in whatever year, and they were supposed to come to Little Rock, and then it canceled right before that, and I just was like,
some egos got in the way or something.
I forget. It was that plus more anyway. But and they stopped it. I'm like, no, that would have just been. Are you kidding me?
That would have been good. Yeah.
For this era.
Yeah. And they have done some concerts together.
They did. There was a tour. It was dates they had already done, and then it got to where they're going to get to. It was close. It was like 2 or 3 or 4 before ours, and I'm like, no.
Did you hear where Elton John canceled the concert earlier or stopped in the middle of a concert because his voice. And he just said, "Man, I just can't go on."
I've seen that a lot lately.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've seen that. Like even the other night, Cher had to cancel a concert like 2 hours before she went on out in her little thing she has out in Vegas because she was sick and tried to the last second, and then finally. So imagine having, you know what I mean, or imagine having tickets and you're like, he shows that even they show up and they sound terrible, and you're like,
well, how old is Cher? 182.
How old is Elton John? I almost want to call him William John now because he sounds like it should be from the 1800s.
Right.
All right, but my time. My band.
Yes.
A little different. Now I am going to go with that classic rock band, and I'll break down. It's a little,
I can't wait.
Band
I can't wait to see who you got in here, man.
All right, and this would definitely go together. They'd figure it out, but this would be great, up tempo. Obviously, you think of the music that these guys put out, what the music that they would come up with. So, the lead singer Freddie Mercury, that dude. A cannon for a voice. I mean, a black hole, whatever you want to call it, that thing could just belt out what you want to hear.
There you go.
So I want something like that. I want to be able to move.
So you put a vocalist in there.
Oh, I did.
A solidified, true
and to go with
vocalist.
Yes. And to go with him, obviously, maybe have him tone it down just a little bit to keep it all musically round, but obviously my favorite ever, and he's got to go in there. I'm going to go Jimi Hendrix at the lead guitar. Lead guitar, as you hear me say. Bass, we'll have Flea. Got to have Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. He's fun. Up tempo. I want that up tempo. I don't want to.
So far, so good, man.
I don't want to.
So far, so good.
On the drums, we're going Neil Peart from Rush.
Rest his soul.
Exactly. Just recently. So I had to. I loved it.
So that's
you know
your
what?
tip of the hat to Mr. Peart. Yeah.
And now back with a little bit of Henley can help out, and it depends on what they want to play. But keys, drums, vocal, and a little bit of guitar. I love the two of them, and where they could help out writing stuff. They could help out making Phil Collins and Don Henley. Nice. I want them to. One on each side, whatever they feel like playing that night, whether it's drums, it's a little guitar, maybe a little bit of both. They're going to switch all around like you see great musicians do. So there would be it is. I want lead singer, Freddie Mercury, lead guitar, Jimi Hendrix, bass, Flea, drums, Neil Peart, keys, drums, vocal, a little bit of guitar, Phil Collins, Don Henley.
Put Michael McDonald in
there.
there.
Michael McDonald.
Put Michael McDonald in there on the keys.
Let me put him on the keys.
Put him on the keys. Keep Phil Collins
Phil Collins to just playing some drums. Then Don Henley could play a little guitar and
there
drums.
You go.
Because we like a little. We see multiple bands that have two drummers.
Absolute doobies. The doobies.
Boom. There you go.
The doobies,
with
man.
Michael McDonald. That's at one point in time.
Exactly.
Oh, so now we're fitting it all together there.
Now you're talking.
Boom. I love that voice. Have him sing some songs.
Woo, man, with Merc.
Don Henley and Phil Collins with a little soothing back vocals for you. You kidding me?
You got some vocal power going on that band.
Telling you, right? Good guitars too. I mean,
I'd go to that concert.
That'd be a pretty good one. Are you? That's lining that up.
That's a pretty good concert.
That's pretty. All right, let's get to the stud or dud moment of the week.
Yeah.
Now, let's see if you knew what champion I was talking about. A little lady named Heaven Fitch was who I was speaking of.
Oh no, I'm thinking.
Who are you speaking of?
I saw a video clip this week. I should have sent it to you.
Yeah.
It was a high school team. I think it was high school. Maybe junior high. No, I think it was high school team. They were playing, and there was a Down syndrome boy on one team.
Right.
And the kid, they put the Down syndrome boy in there to play, and the kid from the other team got the rebound. And as he got the rebound, came down, and there were only seconds left in the game.
Right.
As he turned, and everybody was working its way back up the court, he bounced past it to the Down syndrome kid.
Yeah.
To take the last shot.
Right.
Even though, he literally passes the ball to him. The Down syndrome kid throws it up, hits the rim, and he goes, right, and they rebound the ball again, and he passes it back out to him, and he drains a three. He drains a three at the buzzer. I'll send you the clip.
That's so awesome.
He drains the three at the buzzer, and everybody goes great. And that Down syndrome kid, right? It was awesome, and it will give you chills because he started celebrating like he hit the last the game-winning shot,
yeah.
And it made no difference to him that the actual opposing team.
Yeah.
Was feeding him the ball.
Yeah, that's like the clip a couple weeks ago. You've seen that a lot more. Well, I shouldn't say a lot more, but you're seeing that a lot lately, and I just wish that would carry over to all aspects of life, not just in sports.
Yes.
Like when you get off that court, do that outside too. When you're
right.
walking around, you're in the convenience store, you're at church or wherever. Like that should be the way you always act.
And you could just tell it was so spontaneous. There was no game plan to throw that ball to
he
that
just
kid.
Hit, which is such a great thought, and go, man, there's no ball, and just bounced it to him.
And he turned and he looked and he bounced it to him like, you. Instead of me running out the clock,
Great. Yeah.
And us winning.
Yeah.
Right.
Just telling you, seen that a lot lately, which is good.
Yeah.
My story involves Heaven Fitch. So this is a female wrestler. Ends up being one. Because her brothers, she's the youngest of four or three, watched all her older brothers wrestle tournaments. So as a 6-year-old, she constantly pushed her parents to let her compete in the sport. Nagging, until I think it was like 10 or 11, they finally let her, you know what I mean, kind of because she was a little older, a little bigger. Fitch became the first girl ever to win a North Carolina High School Athletic Association Individual Wrestling State Championship this last weekend, triumphing the 106 weight class at Greensboro. Fitch scored a pin in her first match, won her semifinal 9-4, came out on top, and the championship match won 11-3 in the championship match. She faced only boys, and is the first, obviously.
And she's a legitimate girl.
Yes, pretty girl actually.
She's
pretty
legit.
Girl. Yes,
good for her.
Yes, and so they brought her on.
Well, good for her.
And you should see, that's the thing. She laughed. She's like, all these guys, they see her and they think I'm about to beat this girl down. And she could probably, I was like, man, because I got that same feeling. But then she's strong.
I'm so glad you didn't tell me it was a guy being a girl that competed against her.
No.
Right,
okay,
all right.
No, this girl, she's, like I said, she's pretty. That's what made me like, wow, she's like, this girl for real, this girl. Definitely. But yeah, she's
good for her.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Senior, or junior now, will be a senior next year. And this literally, was a senior this year. I should say I thought she was a junior. But as a senior at Carter High School in Asheboro, reported finished her season with a 54-5 record, winning the most outstanding wrestler in her classification.
Yeah. Well, it just goes
placing fourth overall in the state.
As a ex-wrestler, it just goes to show you that sport is about finesse.
Yeah. And I'll send you that clip. But yes, it was exactly.
It's about finesse.
Blonde hair, blue eyes.
It's
all
about,
older brothers.
It's a thinking.
Yes.
It's a thinking sport.
I love her name's Heaven. I like that. That was kind of cool.
Leverage, your ability to use leverage.
You should see this move. So this they're right on that outer circle. So I guess you get points when you get them outside of it, right?
Right.
She does this. I mean, it looks like when I watch Blade, as in of Blade, West. Yeah. I mean, it looks like some ninja. I mean, she does this maneuver off her shoulder, twirls back around, gets back behind him, pins him down for the last point. I mean, when I saw that, I was like, because he was about to get her out. I'm like, wow, she's about. Because the clip is like, it's a shorter clip. It's the last pin.
Yeah.
But at first, you could tell she was kind of the one in. About to get, maybe a point pinned again, whatever, and she makes this one crazy like ninja move, and I'm like, my mouth just dropped. I'm like, holy, wow, and exactly. But because after he got her, this guy's like trying not to get pinned exactly, and he's trying to keep those shoulders off, and she finally pins him down. I'm like, that is some strength. She could pin me down. Like
the thing about wrestling, there's certain holds, man, that once you get that individual in that hold.
Yeah, because he couldn't move. He was locked in, trying his hardest.
And it doesn't matter how much strength you have because it's a leverage game. It's a leverage game, right? It's
it's
over.
It was nuts. Blew my mind. I'm like that.
Yeah,
it was cool. So it's good to see.
When I wrestled, man, I'd be getting pinned, and I'd hear everybody go like, stand up, get up, stand up. And as I'm on the mat looking at the lights in the gym ceiling, I'm going like.
Yeah.
Don't you think if
I'm Captain America, maybe, or exactly.
Don't you think if I could stand up,
I would have already.
I would. Come on.
I love it. I'll have to send you that clip. Yeah, beautiful story. I'm like, that's so cool. Whole tournament. She was the only girl.
I'll send you the basketball one.
Great story. Look at that. Great stories. Got to keep it rolling. What to watch until next week? Get out and enjoy. Nothing to watch. You know what to watch? Watch the beautiful weather this weekend. If you got it here down south, enjoy it with your friends. Hopefully, you have family to celebrate it with.
Right.
Could see y'all doing some baseball this weekend.
Now we got basketball today. We got baseball today. We got 2 basketball games.
Who's in basketball?
Framman's in basketball. Fulton's playing basketball. They're in playoffs. Gardner's got some baseball going on today. Tomorrow we got basketball and baseball going on. Sunday we got it going on all weekend.
There you go, man. There you go.
All
so
weekend.
Enjoy it. That's what you need to enjoy this weekend. One of the first nice, warm, beautiful weekends across the South. Enjoy it. On next week's show, could have done this last week with the lead up to the Wilder Fury fight. Kind of thought about it. I'm like, man, that would have been good last week. So we talked about it today. How about we do it? Especially, and I'm going to have mine are all going to be old school. We're going to do our Mount Rushmore of boxers. Best top 4 boxers of all time. Well, one we've mentioned today that's going to be on both of our lists, Mr. Ali. I mean, if he's on either one of our lists, we need to get slapped around.
And everybody needs to watch the barbershop scene from Coming to
America.
America.
Yeah, right. Yes. Which they're making a second one to that, by the way.
We should actually show that.
Yeah, right, next week. We'll show that right. And real quick, we have a clip.
Eddie
like we're in
Murphy.
class.
That's like one
Classic.
of the funniest scenes of all time.
But
man.
so we'll do that.
So we'll do our Coming to America best boxers of all time.
There we go. Exactly.
Okay.
Also getting close to looking at. We'll go back to our original Final Four. Because, like I said, next week's the last weekend, so we'll kind of start looking. It's almost bracket season, baby. March Madness is upon us. MLB picks, I think, are in for the both of us. We'll have to make it official with Mr. One, Steve Kent. We need to get him back on if we can. If he's not busy, hopefully.
Steve will always come on.
Let's get him on like we did last year. I would love to.
He doesn't do anything.
The day after opening.
He acts like he does. He eats at Fuzzies and.
Okay. Come on, Steve. We're getting you on then. The day after opening day, which I remember, is the 26th because the 25th they're one day off. The 26th opening day, which I think is a Thursday. So that 27th, let's have him in whichever chair. This one is anyway. But yeah, let's get him in here. Let's get our picks in again. It's looking like you're pretty much the 87.9% Stros, or what, you know what I mean. But
yeah, I think the Astros are going to win the World Series.
I'm going same with I'm pretty much with Yankees. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying you're pretty much Stros. I'm pretty much Yankees. I don't think that's changing in the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an Astros-Dodgers rematch in the World
classic.
Series, and Astros wins, and Bregman gets to give a big up yours to the dugout across the way.
Poor LA out there going to fall off the map if they lose another one.
I think that would be awesome.
All right, well, let's do it. Let's get Steve in here. Let's get the picks in. That'll be like I said, opening day. That's about right around a month out. Don't forget, subscribe on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, SoundCloud to hear all the episodes. And, of course, right here you can view them and subscribe to us. YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and the beautiful put-together studandud.com.
There you go, man.
Thank you all for listening. Perfectly, or pretty much right at an hour.
Bam.
We're trying to keep it right there. Not go too long.
Bam.
We did good, didn't we?
Awesome.
Beautiful day. You ready to enjoy the weather?
Let's go play.
Let's do it. Until next week, I'm Josh Smith.
I'm Bob Lawrence.
Peace.